is done in the dark shall be brought into the light. They're all passing around lies, packs of lies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're literally passing around lies. And nobody's done the fact check. And we just did it.
Welcome to the mirror, boys and girls.
It all started when Eric Paquette on June 24th, which is now 4 days ago, today's the 28th, posted this up. So this references an interview on enworld.org, which if you look at, references this video, which is found on YouTube, which will now play.
But I just want to say that TSR has been gone. There's a ton of artists and game designers and people that played was there, and recently they were dissed for being old-fashioned, possibly anti-modern trends, and enforcing or even having the concepts of gender identity. So I don't know.
He's basically talking about how he's inviting these old game designers to work for him to produce a game, and he's aware that they've been accused and gatekept for a whole bunch of reasons that are allegations, because they're old-fashioned and from a different time, and they're perhaps not aware of certain things that are modern. But he's not saying that about himself.
All I'm trying to do is fill in the strip mine, allow this old fertile soil to produce more games and products again. We're not going to be able to get back the diamond that was Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
We'll be able to make things that might have chips of diamond material or whatever, but we're never going to see that great D&D diamond again, I don't think. But someday, something will be around. Hopefully it'll be made by TSR, but if not, I still hope to be alive and see the next great incarnation of gaming.
I get the joy from Ernie Gygax. That's what I get. I get the love of gaming. He says it might not even come from here. There was a diamond, a D20 I can see in his hands, right? And that D20 is just not going to come back, that perfect diamond. That was a perfect culmination of events, that moment in time that gave birth to Dungeons and Dragons at that time, right? That was amazing, revolutionizing. Mm-hmm. Well, he was talking about TSR all being strip mined, right? That's what he was alluding to earlier. He was saying that it was strip mined and that these old game designers don't have anywhere to go. And then they've been accused of being old-fashioned and not even having the concept of gender identity.
I think he's basically running a game designing company. He's brought in old game designers who it sounds like they've had the mob on them already. They've been blacklisted, misinterpreted, labeled. Maybe they don't understand certain modern concepts, but it doesn't mean they're against them. At no point did he say that. He was talking about other people. Yeah, I see on Twitter Ernie Gygax. Ernie Gygax is a transphobe, a misogynist, XYZ. Well, he's talking. The words he said there was representing other people that are working for him, that they have been blacklisted for whatever reasons. It's more sign of this mob, and that's exactly what I'm seeing on Twitter. A mob, a conservative mob, trying to press gang and take things out of context and claim gotchas and try and cancel this fellow.
He said it. He wants to see everybody play tabletop gaming, and I loved where he said, it doesn't matter if he said, I hope it comes from TSR, but if it comes from somewhere else, great. I just want to see people playing games. That's everybody. That is not just these old folks and these people and those people and those people back there and these over here up on a cloud. It's everyone. He wants everyone, and they have taken what he said and twisted it to fit their own narrative. This is some kind of threat, or because he didn't come out and bow down and kiss the ring.
Now that we've seen the video, let's see what happens next. Eric Paquette says, wow, this interview is not a good look for @TSR Games. The answer to the question why a new TSR tells me that my friends, and by extension me, are not welcome. This is not the TSR I grew up with in the 90s.
That video actually said that the people who weren't welcome were all these old game designers that used to work and create games, and how they've been victim of a number of accusations which don't necessarily have any validity. It sounds like they're the ones that are excluded and not welcome.
Well, and I hate to break it to Eric here, but this is exactly the TSR that you grew up with in the 90s, because none of this was an issue back then, and everybody was welcome. It didn't matter who you were. You could be a lawyer or a Wall Street banker, down to some high school kid or middle school kid who just wanted to have 2 hours with his friends to where they could go and do a quest and have some fun. That is for everyone. That is everyone. What they're doing here is lying. This is a lie.
100%. Yeah. It's completely misconstrued from what we've just heard Ernie say, what he's identified. And as Nick correctly points out, it's to spin an entire narrative, which I'm sure we'll now see.
TSR Games now responds 4 days ago on June 24th. Everyone is welcome at our table. And then you've got this other account on Twitter. The interview and the blocking spree suggest otherwise. So now I'm thinking they block trolls. TSR responds, the interview is Ernie's opinions, not ours. Ernie is Ernie. We won't tolerate being targeted by trolls, and we really do our best to keep politics out of it. We welcome everyone.
This is the most inclusive thing I have seen in probably 5 years, where a company is coming out there and saying, red and yellow, black and white, you are all precious in our sight. TSR loves the little children of the world.
And this is archived because this was deleted, and I believe, okay, that this was a mistake to delete. When you delete these, what happens is these Twitter mobs, because they're simply about force, they now believe that they're correct and that they've won the argument because you've now acquiesced to their demands. TSR says, do you like at GiantLands theme? It's by the amazing Singaporean doom metal band Marijana. Be sure to support these amazing artists. Person Meg, who jumps in and says, could you please directly expand upon the comments made by Ernie Gygax about gender identity? Does this company support transgender people? Well, if we remember from what we've just seen, Ernie Gygax simply said that the old game designers who he's brought in to give new life to their company, to bring something valuable to the new generation, simply doesn't have that concept. So that's just immaterial. They're just not up and up with the modern stuff. These are people who are older than me, older than Nick, older than Dan, and we're already in our 40s. TSR says, expand? Ernie made no such comments. Please stop trolling us. Thank you. 100% correct. Another person now replies, asking you a question you're scared to answer isn't trolling. Hide your head in the sand all you want. We see you. Who's we over here, Dan?
We as this mob, this coordinated mob, it would seem, a bunch of people that are press ganging. They're trying to get them to bow and acquiesce to their ideological demands, which the company simply doesn't share. It doesn't have those politics. It doesn't want to interject any of these politics. It wants to put out games for people to play. It wants to give work to old game designers who were there at the very beginning.
She says, just say, we at TSR think trans women are women, trans men are men, and trans lives matter. Stop trying to dodge the question. This is an old tactic, Saul Alinsky's rules for radicals. You're trying to force somebody else to say something that they don't want to say, but by them doing it, you're offering them the promise that this will all go away. This is called extortion. Nothing in that interview had anything to do with saying that they are not for trans people or against trans people. These games are not vehicles for particular political aspects. Again, these are escapisms.
It is disgusting, and I actually agree over here with GiantLands, and I think we're pretty much on the same page. And it's amazing to see, right? And over here at the War Campaign, we've got experience with this sort of thing. We've seen the lies on Twitter. We've seen these kind of tactics used before.
Disappointed, but not surprised.
We here at the War Campaign, it's our jam to see the mob, to see the coercion, to see the twisted narratives, to see the force these people try and use to press you with ideological viewpoints that have no place, have absolutely no place at all.
Play the game the way you want to play it.
War Campaign, see you too.